Okay.
Alright.
Hi.
Hi, y'all. I'm Amari.
I'm Jude.
And we're two goths in a coffin. And we are going to talk about the finale of Interview with a Vampire and watch it at the same time. We've already watched it before. This is not a blind reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But we still wanted to talk about it. And so we're going to dive into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I'm having a normal one.
An exclusive look inside the episode.
I've technically seen it twice already. So this is my third time.
Take us back to the beginning.
I still think it's so funny that the neon sign has letters that are just out. It really sets the tone for that theater. They're like, the sign went out.
Eh.
Session 10.
Oh, I do love him rubbing his
I still love them. I will always love them.
You were forced to watch.
Oh.
His name was Magnus. Did you remember
His face there always kills me. It's like,
I'm like, don't even act.
for the vampire?
You're not an actor.
But not her. I could not prevent.
oh god.
Prevent.
Delaney, the actress that you are.
I love you.
Looking forward to seeing you in the future. I'm speaking it into existence.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
And that's the end of it.
There's
There's-
nothing else. Sorry.
I paused for dramatic.
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Are they still there? Right now? In your feet? If you took an x-ray, they'd look like little cancers. You could remove them anytime you wanted to.
Shh.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
No.
But I'm like, I did think that was interesting that he kept them. It just reminds me of the we keep the damage to remember the
Yeah.
damage. That's
That's
like,
exactly what I was thinking too.
yeah, that he could remove them whenever he wants. And I think there's also something to the lightly, I keep thinking like dismissive tone of, like, he could do it if he wanted to, but he's not.
I'm like, I'm not listening to you at that.
Yeah. So, I do find that really interesting.
All these years for effect. What were the consequences of you saving Louie? Lucy, what ifs?
This also feels like a bit of a parallel to episode 5 when he's in the other room and he's just listening to Louie in pain, but he's not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he could have got him out of there way sooner, but he didn't.
Yeah, like, what's that about also?
Yeah. I think it's purposeful. I think that he's purposefully waiting until Louie is delirious. Because I think it's going to make it easier for him to
Turns
sell
like-
him things later.
That, and also to ensure that, he goes with taking out the coven.
Oh,
Reaching
yeah.
that, like, level of anger and madness that he... Kitty!
Do you have an opinion, Miso? Come
Our
on.
own little kitten.
Oh, you can't even see her.
Aw.
She's too small.
Baby!
She doesn't like that the door's closed. So I'm gonna let her out. Anyway.
I just like
Anyway.
my cat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. It makes it easier for him. Armand likes to not have to do the heavy lifting of any of these schemes. So he likes to outsource his violence.
Outsource.
So you guarantee me Lestat and the family?
Oof.
Snatch the piece of candy back from the barber when you're 7 years old.
All this really hurts my heart.
Would I have been stronger sooner?
And at the same time, Jacob Anderson looks so beautiful
He
here.
looks so beautiful. I love
Snatch the candy.
his delivery in this
Be
monologue.
the man in the different suit.
Every time he has a monologue. I'm like,
He's like,
let me just kiss your forehead and thanks
yeah.
And
for this
again,
gift.
I'm kissing Lestat on the altar.
I also love the defeatist way he's talking about this. Like, it's not so much like, it's like soulmates derogatory. It's like, I was always gonna end up there, and that's the problem. And I'm ashamed about that.
Buried alive. Penny candy's not the answer.
All of them on the long ends of the table.
And as Louis withered away,
Usually they're sitting opposite on the short side, but they're sitting on opposite sides of the long end of the table. The distance between them is very physical.
the pack hunts revitalized, all under the increasingly self-satisfied eye of Santiago.
You ruined. Does anyone ever ask Lazarus if he wanted to be woke?
I love that line. That line is fantastic.
The Bible much anymore. No one gives a shit about Lazarus's point of view, is what I remember. I tasted the blood. I knew it was his. Why? I thought Claudia is dead. I was dead.
My rage had been
Him in the
denied
little
blood.
window.
Oh, it's his like horror movie monster moment.
My rage killed without a single.
His handwriting's so nice. Like,
I
he's
know.
insane, but it's the most beautiful handwriting I've ever seen. Like, the way that caught me off guard the first time, I had to pause. I
was
felt like
so
I had hallucinated. I was like, did he just meow?
Cat boy Louie enthusiast winning.
Oh, he looks like such a creature. Like, that's like trail cam footage. They should have let him use that scythe.
I agree.
They should have let him use
agree.
that scythe.
Who
Was it
cares?
because then like the scythe does all the work?
Yeah,
Come on, he's deaf.
he doesn't need to be a farmer.
Yeah, come on.
Do it for the drama.
Do it for the drama.
The dramatics, the
That would've been
aesthetic.
fun. Come on.
Shut up, hallucination. Let him do. Let
And
him
this
do
is where
his big thing.
Yeah. Louis isn't as, I guess, dramatic as both his husbands.
Left on red.
Yeah, genuinely, that's all I can think of. It's like whenever I'm driving and I see messages pop up, I'm just like, shut up!
You must leave Paris. They're going to find out what I did. Do not worry about it.
Oh, I love that his name is on the revenge list. Hee hee.
If I could explain to you the events, I think you would understand why it was.
And like, I think purposefully Armand is not going there, because he could,
I know you
but he's
will
not.
Forgive me. I am not seeking.
Because he needs to leave him alone with this. He needs to let it cook.
Louis,
Let him cook.
Let him cook. He's about to.
Save me the trial.
yes.
Oh, he says yes. Yeah.
He hesitated on that one, and then this
That's
one did right
so
away.
certain. He's like, yeah, for sure.
He's like,
Save her.
yeah, me.
However you meant. Okay.
Is his username Pulitzer-Rue 2? I can't figure out what his username is supposed to be. I know he's got 2 Pulitzers, but why is that his username?
He'd already betrayed you once. They were his coven for hundreds of years. Why risk it? My rage and madness were asleep. It was a test. But you
His
didn't
hair
want
looks so
any other.
nice. He's always so pretty.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at him forever.
also, I keep being thrown because in so many interviews, they. Oh, wait.
If I'm not with him, I'm nothing.
Sure. I think it's so funny that they do RJ because I'm like, Roland Jones.
I know.
Is messaging Daniel.
I was going to die. And I was going to take as many of them with me as I could.
Let him cook.
Ooh, putting it over the film. Film is so flammable.
I didn't know
You
that.
can't. Back in the day, you could not. You still can't smoke in a room that has like film reels because it'll light up and it'll burn everything down.
Oh, wow.
Crazy flammable.
Let him cook!
Yes, and they're locked in their coffin.
Also, he set that aflame from that far. Or did it spark because of the...
No,
he
he
did
did
it. Okay, that's what I was like... Heh.
Stupid snarl. You're so annoying. Sorry.
Yeah, Francis.
Did I wake you? I tried to be quiet, coming and going.
This geriatric spike looking.
Me! Against Claudia, that hot exit from the garden. Come to me.
I think it's so interesting. I think it's really interesting that Santiago is claiming so much responsibility for it, and when that would have been a great moment to twist the knife about like, you're so stupid that you were like sleeping with the guy who was about to kill your sister. Like you couldn't figure it out. How dumb are you? And he's just like, nah, it was all me.
He's a loser. I don't know, but yeah, that is interesting. I did wonder about that after things were revealed.
Well, this episode's for people who have seen the episode. We've seen it.
Yeah.
So after the big reveal, that like
After things were revealed.
yeah, I still think this moment's odd, and I have theories, and we'll get to them when we get to that part. But you would notice. I was like, why is this pepper gray?
Ew. Go to hell, literally die. Well, you're about to.
Yeah,
but
it's a
die
simulation.
again. Die again. Die again, actually, though. No, it's Francis.
That would have killed him instantly, though.
Embarrassing. Loser behavior.
Loser
behavior.
Loser.
Meanwhile, Louie...
Can you imagine, like, you being so embarrassing during your turning that your maker just leaves afterwards?
Honestly, I would have killed myself right then. I'm like, damn.
Louie and his British accent. Yeah! Love it.
You look so beautiful. My beautiful queen, covered in blood.
I love this Dutch angle.
It's nice.
Say that shit about Claudia to my face.
Yeah! Exactly.
How quickly he ran.
Oh, he put it in a newspaper so he could get up out of there before he opened it instead of just laying down the folder.
Brought a cloak to a knife fight.
She's like, alright, you do your big thing, I'm a dip.
Yeah, because otherwise Armand would be like, what's in the folder? And he's like, none of your business. It's also that line that makes me wish that they had kept the dialogue from the embankment scene at the end of Interview with the Vampire, because when Louis like, my rage and madness left me and nothing replaced it. And that, I thought that they were going to tie it back with the line at the end in the embankment scene where, like, Armand is like, he's like, you've grown, like, cold and, like, alien to me, and I look in your eyes and my reflection isn't there, and then Louis' response is, like, you showed me basically how cold and cruel I have to be in order to make it as a vampire. So, when you look at me and you see nothing, that's because you're seeing yourself.
I do like...
And I had thought that they were going to bring that back
There's a
with
lot
that
of
line.
lines I would like to add a bit of time.
Yeah. But I'm taking that as, like, part of it. I'm choosing to believe. Oh. And this...
He ain't shit, but I don't
But
care.
the thing is, with this bit, like... This is so flimsy because Lou doesn't even know that Armand is immune to sunlight. And so he has this blade of sunlight that's supposed to be keeping Armand away from him, but really it's keeping Louis away from Armand. Louis the one who can't cross that line of light. Armand is pretending he can't. And isn't that just so a perfect representation of their relationship? And especially this moment.
Yeah.
Armand pretending that he's being restrained. Oh, they switched to shaky cam.
You'll never make it up to me.
I know.
Oh, he's sleeping in Claudia's coffin. I like that the water looks like blood there.
Why I do what I do? Why burned your daughter alive? Why you rehearsed a play that will burn your daughter alive? Why you crossed an ocean to rehearse a play that would burn your daughter alive?
Let's get into that.
What fucking law did you ever follow to stop?
Let's get into that.
It's so small.
They'll come to kill you. I have the blood of Magnus in me.
Magnus burned.
I have the blood of Akasha.
This annoyed me. Because, first of all, Armand shouldn't know who Akasha is. No one knows who Akasha is, except for Marius and Lestat and Cayman, but he's not that important. If we're talking about people who matter in the narrative of the story, it's those two. And that is a point of resentment between Armand and Lestat, that Marius told Lestat all the info about those who must be kept, but didn't tell Armand, who was supposed to be his favorite. And then this random guy he meets gets all the history. And it's like, why did you deserve that? I spent my whole life trying to serve this man and, like, appease him, and he didn't give me anything. And then you are just annoying and relentless in your trek across Europe, and you're handed all that information on a silver platter because everything comes easy to you, and nothing comes easy to me, and you're never going to think that anything comes easy to you because you've suffered every so often. And so I got really annoyed when he said, like, Akasha to Armand, because Armand shouldn't know who that is. He should be like, well, I don't... I was like, and? Who's that? Because that's how he got brought into the Children of Darkness, is they were questioning him about those who must be kept, and he's like, I don't know what those who must be kept are. He's never told me. He would just go away on trips. He's like, I need to leave, and he'd be gone for a couple days, and then he'd come back. But he never told anyone what it was. And it falls into, maybe this is weird to say, but, like, the dynamic that I always got between Lestat and Armand of, like, the favored son and the one who doesn't get anything. That, like, Oh, I was gonna make a Bible reference. I can't remember the other brother's name, but it's was it Jacob and Esau? That like he killed his brother because he wanted to like get his
birthright or whatever.
Yeah.
The way I should know this.
The way we should both know this. I was a TK.
19 years.
Yeah. Both my parents were pastors at a church they founded. I should know this. I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen somewhere what the actual names are.
Yeah.
Because I swear I'm right.
The way I should know that. But, you know, I haven't read the Bible since I was 19. And I am 29.
Yeah. It's just like Louie, I haven't read the Bible.
Yeah,
I don't read the Bible much anymore. Does it say, what's their names? The Jacob and Esau? Yeah, but like that dynamic is like kind of a part of the Lestat Armand dynamic of like, that should be mine, but it's yours. Mm-hmm. And that resentment that Armand has, because he's always second choice. Like that is his big psychological thing. He's always second choice. No one ever first goes to Armand. He's always, you end up with Armand. You don't choose Armand. And that's his damage. Mm-hmm. And it goes with Marius too. Like, while he was turned by Marius always acted like there was something wrong with him still. But then he finds this other guy and he chooses Lestat as like, you should be my successor. And Armand's like, what's wrong with me? I would be a perfect candidate to take care of those who must be kept. Literally, like, Armand is perfect for that. But Lestat is terrible for that.
Cannot.
Literally, he couldn't even stay there for a long weekend before, like, fucking everything up beyond recognition.
Yeah.
Armand would have been like, got it. I have to watch them forever. Perfect. I was built for this. So, yeah. That annoyed me. And also, Lestat had the blood of Akasha in the book Interview with the Vampire by that point, and he was still able to be set on fire. The only reason why he's able to, like, he's more powerful later on is because Akasha spends another long weekend with Lestat basically just feeding him her blood over and over, and then he gets, like, this godlike strength. But at this point, he's strong, but not, like, a god. So they could kill him. You could set him on fire. You could always try.
Yeah, at the very least. I feel like we should at least try.
Give it the old college try.
Like,
we gotta try. Has anyone tried? We should try.
Try it.
Yeah.
Just experiment.
I think also...
We can test.
I also think...
What happened to scientific testing?
I also think that at this moment, Lestat would have accepted it, because it's a poetic punishment. I watched my daughter get set on fire, or like burned to death, and then they're going to set me on fire. And I think he would take that at this point.
He just says he's not in the mood.
That's why I think it's weird. That I'm like, I think he would. I think it would have been in character for him to say like, yeah, I'll be set on fire. And I'll feel that pain. Because he literally does that in Tale of the Body Thief for the same reason, which is Claudia. Of just, he wasn't sure if the sun could kill him, but it sure did hurt real bad, and he subjected himself to that for like 2 days. Because he wanted to see something. He's like, I want to check something out real quick. Oh god, it's the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Yeah, I think he would have accepted being set on fire. I think this is odd.
He doesn't know who that is. But the fact in and of itself makes your immediate desire an impossibility. I'd have to be willing.
I was just saying, he said that he's not in the mood.
Yeah. I think
Not
he
in the
would
mood to
be.
die.
He's
Or set on fire, whatever. He just said that.
I know, but I think that's out of character, that he wouldn't be in the mood. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I think, 1, he should be able to be set on fire, and 2, he would have allowed himself to be set on fire
Okay, I
if
see
he
what you're
needed to
saying.
allow himself to be set on fire in this moment.
Yeah.
That is a punishment I think he would have taken. Because he doesn't... Yeah. He'll take a physical punishment over a psychological one any day. He's like, yeah, you can hit me. Do they have Louie standing on, like, a crate?
I know, right? They're like, let's make him look tall.
Yeah, let's make our Armand look little.
You find him adore time with.
Ooh, I love this
Whatever
line.
pale proxy of me. I'll be with him.
You will never find a badder bitch.
He's like, have you ever heard the song Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac?
Pretending not to throw up and cry.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's
"Whoa."
like, I don't even care. Yeah. You think you can hurt me? I don't even care.
Yeah, I don't actually love this, but
Yeah.
Hard phrase.
for other reasons. But
What is it meant by that, Louie?
it is funny for him to be like, I don't care.
He didn't think he'd make it. 77 years.
Aw.
Almost to the day. We left him there. Walked past.
What if we just end it right here? Actually,
Stop for a moment at the Place de la Concorde. It looks ominous.
I stood staring up.
I'm sorry I always smile so big whenever Louie and Armand talk to each other. I just enjoy it.
Was it telepathically?
I love this whole bit where they fall back into the same, like, way of speaking they were in episode 2. So it's like, you have a sequin on you, but also...
where?
or a sparkle.
It's just sparkles.
Okay.
Because I do drag, and I've been doing it the past 3 days. If I look dead inside, it's because I am tired.
I love the face I paused it on.
I mean, it's so cute.
My new Discord avatar.
I was gonna come on here with shades so I can be like, don't mind me. But here I am.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, them falling back into that very...
I know.
We're still finishing other sentences, blah, blah, blah.
Honestly,
from
I was like,
episode
y'all are
2.
so cruel to me to give me this before the reveal. Why do
that-
y'all hate me?
Is that how you read it? As, like, cute?
Well, I just their dialogue. I mean, like, I like their dialogue together when they like. So, like, I love their dialogue together. So that right before the big reveal killed me.
I thought it felt so forced. Like,
Maybe.
after everything else,
Perhaps.
when they
I'm
fell
just-
back into this,
I'm
I was
just-
like, it felt so much phonier after seeing them in episode 6, after seeing,
Yes.
like, even in episode 4.
Yes. No, I don't disagree. But I'm just saying their dialogue still makes me very happy.
Okay. I just remember my first feeling here was just like, do you genuinely think you can get away with doing this right now? After
No,
everything, you're gonna fall back into the I'm starting a sentence and I'm finishing it, and then we're gonna have a cute little did I say it telepathically? Do you remember what did I do? And he's like, I can't even remember.
It definitely feels off, and you can. That's why. But I love their dialogues together.
I
when
also
they're
love their
being-
dialogue together. It's just this
It's
particular
pleasing
moment.
to me, and then right after this, I'm like, we could have just.
Top 10 photos taken moments before disaster. The way you stopped laughing.
I don't remember.
Oh,
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's not. But
Settled in New York a good while.
I do think Armand is genuinely so happy.
yeah, because he thinks that he's good. He's like, we're almost done. We're getting through.
Yeah, he's like, well, not unscathed, but we're still standing. My house of cards lives to fight another day.
And then here comes Daniel. I mean,
Also, what do you...
But
We're going to get to it in a
also-
second, but...
End of session.
Why did he hit the space bar that hard?
because he's annoying. Like, he's so pleased. He's like, thank God it's over.
Like, worst 2 weeks of my life. Not yet.
He loved you.
This was his problem. Hubris. He should have not said anything. Keep that to yourself.
He loved you a great deal.
You should have kept that to yourself.
Terrible for him to see yourself like that.
You have to take a victory lap.
If I ask a few follow-up questions,
Yeah, you don't really got to.
jotting down along the way.
He's like, his face is like,
He's
sure.
Why?
Like you and the tractor salesman.
Had to ease into it, you know?
Yeah. Because I had also wondered about this for 2 years.
Don telepathically told you that you were scaring the salesman.
I love his face of just like,
He's so...
Yeah.
he's
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you trying to do right now?
Yeah. I figured as much.
Louis' face of like, what is this?
Four escaped the theater. Celeste, Estelle, Santiago, and
Sam,
Bring up.
right, the vampire Sam
we
Barkley.
never quite figured out how he did it.
Did you ever get to him?
No. Time heals, Daniel. I believe he's a DJ now.
A DJ?
Not
He wears a decorative helmet on his head when he performs.
Does he?
I see a lot of people be like, it's so funny that Sam became one half of Daft Punk. What if he's Dead Mouse? Have we considered that? He had the rat box. He could be Marshmallow.
Oh.
That's so...
Mm.
Maybe that's why he becomes relevant in the Vampire Lestat.
Oh, lordy. That's gonna be... You know, we'll see.
We'll see. I said the Vampire Lestat. I meant to say season 3, but I meant like...
I know what you meant.
Yeah, sorry. I'm dumb.
No, they're not.
I meant to be like the Vampire Lestat season.
Yeah, it's funny because Sam's in two places at once at one point in your story. He's guarding Armand in the theater box, but you also have him
LOL.
buried below stage.
He was with me in the box.
Yeah, he was with Armand in the box.
Well, maybe he did a quick vamp back and
But then
forth.
literally
The way he
you just-
tries to be like, well, maybe it was both.
Rashid, should we begin dinner preparations?
Yes, sir. Then do hook.
He's like...
Rashid was answering from his car.
He's like, yeah. He's like, bye.
15.
Oh, he's so angry.
Get him out of there, Armand. Not that I'm siding with you. Continue to
Oh, well, it seems
lie
to
about that
me,
thing about.
I mean, back to the
Totally.
trial,
But
it seems to me
get
that
them out.
there was more than one person in the theater that night who could have saved you. I know. It's my job. I'm built this way. I know. It's a stretch, but
It's in your nature, Mr. Malone.
We have something special.
What do you think the special...
Yeah.
What do you think the special thing they had prepared was?
I don't know.
Audience? I don't know. It was like, the way he was like, we have something special prepared for you tonight,
Orgy
Daniel."
with Rashid.
I was gonna say threesome, perhaps. I'm sorry.
Oh, is it really? Is that what you think?
No.
You sure?
I am sure I'm making a joke. There's things called jokes, and sometimes you say stuff that isn't true because it'll be funny. Because Louie doesn't actually have feelings for Daniel.
Santiago should hand the diary into the audience.
What do y'all think?
Feel the evidence.
Feel free to comment.
Too early for
Mm.
the stop to acknowledge Louie. Keep the tension.
Oh, he sat down so fast.
Look, oh, I love Armand's face here.
It's so over.
It's so over.
Margins.
And we're not coming back.
An animation here. It's not clear
Oh.
how extreme the hoarding was.
I think if I were Armand, I just would have immolated that script.
Honestly, ran his hands immediately.
It's like, no! He looks... Assad is able to do this thing while playing this centuries-old vampire where he suddenly looks like a little kid who hid, like, the broken vase, and you just found it, and he's like...
He should have. He
Oh,
really should have
he's
set
like,
that
I'm
on
gonna
fire
get in
as
so
soon
much trouble.
as Daniel pulled that out. He should have set it on fire immediately. You've been like, oops.
He's like, that's crazy!
Continue to gaslight drunk boss.
Gatekeep.
Gatekeep that script.
Yeah, girl boss and gaslight your way out of there, Armand. Come on.
You gotta think faster.
Can you tell?
Do you want to keep the girl or not? Sorry. Obviously, I'm on Louis' side at all times. I'm just saying, if you want to keep the girl, this is not how I behave in real life. By the way.
Oh my god. Yeah, or at least I would have started running.
I just snatched that shit out of her hands and like, who wrote this?
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is crazy. Toss out the window.
It's like, you know that scene in Parks and Recreation where it's like trying to kind of just like, well, it's because he just turns around and just starts sprinting away before they can get an answer. If I were Armand, I would have just gotten up and started walking away. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, I like that table. Sorry, that's not the point.
It is a nice table. Set that shit on fire. Armand.
Fight back.
I know you are actually not the mastermind that people think you are. Because why? You need to stay ahead, okay?
Oh, I love his face. It's so over.
You rise from your chair and walk towards Claudia.
I'm sorry, but I do like the way that Lestat gets up, like, happy, whatever. It's what I would have done.
I don't know, but Armand also feels resigned here.
Yeah.
The only one who seems into it is
Santiago.
Lestat did. He just took credit for it when the opportunity presented itself, and you.
I love this cycling of emotions.
77 years based on a seismic lie.
It's a forgery.
He looks like a robot malfunctioning.
Paris, he gave it to them, they gave it to me here.
Louie.
Like how they were like, be careful with this. There's only one copy.
Why does
and
he
then-
look like he's too pleased with himself? Thing was like,
Mom's like, you will be dealt with. When I first watched this, I thought he had killed Rashid.
I was like, how did Rashid die too? I also thought, I was like, or not die. I just thought like, something had happened to Rashid. I'm like, how did Rashid get involved in this?
Turn. You need to be caught.
I like the confirmation that this is Louie's house. Armand just lives there.
Gather your things from your room.
Because Armand doesn't have a job. Louie makes the money. I was wondering if he wanted to just start talking about this scene now that we're here.
We can.
The big reveal.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it on your second rewatch?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I still don't love it, but I think more personally I don't love it. And I also don't love that. I don't love the trading out of like Armand didn't do it to give it to Lestat. I don't know, it just feels off for me in that regard. A little more settled in the idea that, you know, Armand directed the play, but I was always like, even on the first watch, that's not the part that like I was unsure about. It was more just like, what are his like motivations in this? Because I don't know if it was adding up for me, and I still am kind of in the middle on that. But I still don't love. Like, I feel like if they were gonna make Lestat save him, then because I feel like Lestat would have saved Louie, even though I still don't know why you were even here in the first place. Then that doesn't make sense to me. But beyond that, I do feel like Lestat would have saved Louie. That piece makes sense, but then it should have just been that instead of being like first Armand. And I also get him like using that, like taking that opportunity, but I just wish they wouldn't have intermingled them because I don't know. It gives me an ick. I don't love it, but
I feel that it's one of those things that if I'm just looking at Armand, only Armand, I get it. But then when I start to think about, well, then why was Lestat there? I don't know. I feel like, I hate to be like I had come up with a narrative. I had, been trying to figure out why he was there, and I had kind of come up with this narrative, and then when it got, that was my reasoning, and then I think this made it really complicated, and I don't want to be like, the version I made up in my head wasn't confirmed, and therefore it was bad, but it's just like, now I don't really understand why Lestat was there. And I know I read those interviews with Sam Reed that he was like, if Louie and Claudia were gonna die, he was gonna be there. But like, then that makes me wonder, why did he wait until the play to end it? Because he could have just killed the coven. When they were like, we're gonna kill Louie and Claudia, he could have been like, no, and then killed them.
Yeah, why are you participating in this? Or are you participating in this like lynching, like this sparging, and it's a very race fueled like trial. Like it's like
they
it
rely
doesn't
so much on racist caricatures. It's very racially charged.
I don't know. That doesn't fall with me.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only thing that then complicates for me, which is like, why would he even participate?
Why did you come all the way across the ocean then to do this?
Because
and even after maybe you didn't know what was going on fully, but then when you find out why are you still participating in this, you're still actively harming. And also later we're gonna get into, but like I also like, I don't know, I do not, I don't know, I'm not vibing with it, but
like I was saying, I get it for Armand. Like, it makes sense to me for Armand as a character. They're not sold, and I've been talking at them for 2 days.
There's bits of it that I can understand, but then it also, I feel like they're gonna have to explain more to me for me to feel like it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to wait to see if they do any touchback on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel that, like, for me, it makes sense with Armand as a person. He is very passive, and to me it makes sense for him to direct the play and do so in such a way knowing that there's no way that Lestat's gonna sit through this, because he needs someone else to do these things for him. He's never gonna do it. He let himself sit in the Children of Darkness for 50 years after saying that he didn't believe in any of it, but he just kept doing it because he needs someone else to do it. It being destroy that thing for him. And then even after it was destroyed, since he didn't have anything else to fill it, he just kept doing it by himself. He kept doing the rituals by himself in that little basement. And then he's shown, Lestat's like, what if you did theater? And then he does the theater for the next 150 years. Even though he, I don't know, he had grown stale. They did the same shows night after night for so long. Even like the old like plays were just slightly updated to make sense to a contemporary audience. But it was the same plays. They were doing the woodcutter bit back in 1795, and they're still doing it in 1940-something. So, yeah. And then Louis shows up, and he wants to throw it all away for Louis, but Louis is not like Lestat in the sense that Louis doesn't immediately show up and it's like, well, I'm going to blow up this coven, I'm going to get you out of it. So now Armand is like, now I'm conflicted because I have to choose between this person and the coven, and now I actually have to make a choice. And Armand does not like making choices because of reasons. But he just needs someone to do it for him. Ultimately. So I do see...
But see, that's where I can't agree there. I feel like, I don't know, in the back of his head, if he's like hoping that like Lestat blows this shit up, blows the trial up basically, then that I'm on board with, because like, you know, I get that. I just am like, if for me it just feels a little off if he went in completely with just like, alright, we killing Louie, I guess, and that's it. That just, I don't know.
I think it's perfectly feasible that he may have started there. Not, like, enthusiastically, but, like, I guess I gotta kill Louis. But then after that Madeline confirmation that Louis does love him, because that's what he was insecure about. And having an outside confirmation that's not Louis, because of the way that Armand works, you can say it, but he won't necessarily believe it. Lots of people have told him they loved him, and all of those people have left him. So, having someone else who... Madeline does not care about Armand. Mm-hmm. She doesn't care. She has no reason to make him feel better. And I think he trusts her because of that. He trusts her assessment more than Louis' in that moment because of that. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say if she even likes Armand.
Sure enough.
She probably doesn't. She doesn't, yeah.
After a little conversation.
Yeah. They don't like each other, so he trusts her more because they don't like each other. Louis obviously has some affection for him, but then he can't trust him because of that, if that makes any sense.
I think...
Or also because he has feelings for Louis, he can't trust it because he'll want to believe it. Mm-hmm. So, I'm willing to believe that Armand was like, can't believe I have to kill Louis tomorrow. Like, up to even, like, the cafe, like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. And then Madeline says the thing, and he's like, well, now I gotta find a way out of this, because he really does actually love me for once. For once, someone loves me. But because of everything he did out of the insecurity and fear that Louis didn't love him, he preemptively poisoned the water so that it was never gonna last, because he's like a character from my Greek. You're gonna see the micro. You probably have seen the microphone in and out. We just don't have a place to place it. It's just in my hand.
You don't see anything. I don't have apples to tell you to focus on, but pretend there's an apple here. Focus on.
I have so many little knickknacks you could just grab.
You have a lot of knickknacks.
Yeah, I love things. But yeah, he's like a character from a Greek tragedy in that sense of like, he is convinced that the people are going to leave him, and so he tries to do everything he can to keep them, but everything he does to keep them, or like even having a self-defeating mindset, like, well, they're gonna leave me anyway, he ends up setting in line the events that will make that person leave him. And that's his problem. Whereas I think Lestat is similar, only but he's similar but in the opposite way, if that makes... He wants to keep them with him, and he holds on to them so tight that they he like squeezes all the stuffing out of them, and then they're just kind of like
Louis, it's time to enter your hot girl era. It's time, because both of these men need a timeout. They need to.
Well, I would say Lestat's had a bit of a timeout.
No, he needs longer.
A 77-year timeout.
No longer.
I still don't think he's out. He should be out of timeout. I should say
his timeout needs to be extended a little longer.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Armand to me.
But Daniel, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
The face I made at you. Don't you ever speak to me about Daniel.
I can do whatever I want.
I'm not a Dan Lou. I think they're friends at most.
Sure.
Not those kind of friends. Friends, no benefits.
No benefits?
None.
What about the benefit of friendship itself?
I also love that Louie doesn't understand how the cloud works.
And he's like, I'm just gonna set this on fire and that's gonna be it.
Yeah. He's an old man.
He's an old man. Armand was the techie one.
Yeah.
I love the Essence Festival mention. I've been trying to go to that eventually. Louie, do you want to meet me there?
Me and my babe was on the bad side. Then I seen they got a new edition, the headline of the festival. She had a thing for Ralph when she took a ride at them big green.
Imagine being on a tour with
Louis de Frontenac.
I would have kept glancing over like, wow, that man is beautiful.
Like, he's beautiful in his little Saints hat.
I know.
Do you think he watches sports? He's not. No.
He was just trying to blend in.
I'm just curious.
That man has never watched a sport.
He's not that type of guy.
He sells art. Come on.
He can contain multitudes.
That is true, because I also, in my jock era...
You don't know nothing about sports.
Yes, I do. I went to the WNBA game just last month, so...
And what game did you go to before that?
I've been to Dallas Mavericks game before.
When?
It's been a while.
Sebastian Melmoth is a Oscar Wilde reference, just in case anyone was curious. I do love his expression, like trying not to just
like
burst out laughing.
You will never be a lost boy.
Yeah, honestly.
And you too, Daniel, in your leather jacket. Y'all don't.
Daniel's trying to be Tony Stark. He's
not
not trying
cool.
to be a lost boy with his AC/DC T-shirt and his stupid aviator sunglasses. This guy, yeah, he was like me. He watched The Lost Boys too many times.
Honestly, though, I will
and then he got turned into a vampire. He's like, I know how to do this
Actually,
now.
now that I'm thinking about it, after that probably would have been me. No, I would be more dramatic. My outfit would be more dramatic. You know.
I probably would go for Lost Boy.
I still would have actually been cringe though. Either way. Damn, you live like this?
Yeah. It's so funny that he has an iPad. He shouldn't.
Some fledgling. All the millennials.
Okay.
His
Excellent rat catcher.
LOL. You know who used to call Lestat Ratcatcher?
You said what?
You know who used to call Lestat Ratcatcher? Armand.
Would you like one? Hello, Lestat.
He's like, no. I don't eat rats anymore.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. I have a sophisticated
Boutique blood brought
diet.
to me.
I came to see
It's aerated. I eat it with a golden spoon out of crystal bowls. Him and his stupid wooden board.
Like,
I'm gonna be for real though.
I'm sorry
This is the best he's ever looked to me.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Did you not get my message?
I saw it and I was like, I have to disagree. I think he looks the best when he looks awful.
So he looks awful.
Yeah. But I'm endeared to it.
Like, what are you even wearing right now?
His hair, it's so greasy. He's wearing that dirty robe. A tank top. He's playing on a wooden board he cut keys into. I missed it!
Missed what?
The Siri pause. Because I
because that
hate
gave me
it.
psychic damage.
when I first watched this episode and I heard him say Siri pause,
I was like,
I
that's what
had
we're
to
doing.
bite something.
Is that what we're doing now?
I was like, oh, something's shifted. The aura has like moved and like changed in such a way that I was not prepared for in that moment. And I'm like, I think I said, oh, this is what we're doing now, because now I have to contend with Lestat actually existing in the modern day. We haven't seen him in the modern day yet. Like, this is the first time we're actually just straight up seeing Lestat normal. And then I had to deal with what that meant, which means he has access to the internet. He should not.
Block that.
Someone block his IP. Oh my god. I couldn't deal with that. Siri pause. I follow someone on Tumblr that... Oh, no, sorry. No! She heard me. I follow someone on Tumblr who says that after they saw that, they've just been walking around their house saying that very quietly to themselves. It's like something happened.
Yeah.
Oof. I love how pathetic he is here, because it makes it even more pathetic in the context. Like, while I don't love that he didn't get set on fire, that it made sense why he was a wreck, however much longer, because he was healing, and then, he was depressed. This is all depression. He's gotten here just by being sad. No injury required. What a pathetic little...
He's not something to be gave or given or whatever the word is.
It was me who saved you, not him. I don't like to point out my virtue.
Man, you need a shower. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, I'm thriving. It's covered in mold.
It's my home. I am she is me.
Sorry, I was touching something. I want to make sure it was my shoe and not like your foot.
Thou word like a curse. Thou selfish. I tried to make nights off, but listen, I wanted you to suffer because I was suffering. Shall we list all the ways we have wronged each other and why it will never be right between monsters? Our king, thank you for the gift you offered me. The gift I denied, for the nights in front of me, where I might learn to live honest. Thank you.
I really like that. There's a lot of things in this scene I don't necessarily like, but it's like, it took him 100 and something years to be like, I am now in a place where I can live, where I want to start living my life without a layer of self-deception. That it's like, and the gift is time, that he's been allotted this extra time to now be able to reach a place where he can live, I almost was like, live authentically, but like, you know, actually go through life without having to have a lie that makes it bearable. He's able to see his life for what it is and accept that, and then continue on and actually have some sort of level of self-acceptance. And there was, it made me remember that there was an interview back in season 1 about the scene, the turning scene in the church, where Louie, Jacob said that like one of the gifts is that you are allotted time to figure everything out. You have that time now. We don't get that as human beings because we have such a short lifespan. But if you have infinite time, you have infinite opportunity to sort yourself out. And I think that's what he's thanking Lestat for. He's like, now I have that time. And I'm like, yeah, I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for Louie.
Yeah, that you have that time.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't do that for any specific reason. I was just really clearing my throat.
Oh yeah, I didn't think you were. I don't think that Louie needed to apologize for anything, but I think Louie felt he needed to apologize for something. But I don't think
he did it for himself.
Oh yeah,
and not for any other reason, even though he didn't need to.
Yeah, that apology is for him. Because I think this whole thing, and we're about to get into where, like, I feel the evidence is that this is about him needing to talk to the other parent of his child. He needs to see him, because I keep thinking of this one bit that's in I think it's in the last Vampire Chronicles book, where Lestat's like, for realsies this time, let's be companions. And Louie's like, give me the sales pitch. What is it now? Like, convince me that this is a good idea. I smacked the microphone. Hopefully you didn't hear it. And Lestat's first point is, we are the only ones who are going to remember Claudia as she was. Like, we share that memory. And that was what I thought about in this scene, of like, one of the things that ties us together is our experience raising this daughter. Because other people met her, Armand met her after the fact, but he didn't see her, he didn't raise her, he saw her at the end. But they experienced the joys and also the trials and everything that came with raising Claudia. They only they share that experience with each other. And I think, unfortunately for Claudia, she once again becomes the Band-Aid for this marriage. But it's also a bond between them that will never be severed, is this bond of being parents for this child that they lost. So, do I think the execution scene did it? Gave it the right amount of weight? But I think at the core, the emotional beat is there for me. But the execution is... I hope this means we get Ghost Claudia.
We have to.
We have to. They already set a precedent. And ghosts exist.
I can't, Louie. I can't. It's all you. You hear me?
It was. It's on.
I carried her home.
But he didn't have to turn her. You didn't make him. You didn't put a gun to his head.
Saved her from a fight. To a half
Thanks. See you later, Seek. She looked at me at the end.
I'm sorry.
I don't care for this dialogue.
I don't feel anything for this part in regards to Lestat because you didn't do anything. You didn't try to do anything. You let terrible things be said about her. Like, you didn't say anything to defend her during the trial. Like, I literally... whatever is happening here, on the Lestat side of it, I am not moved by this. I'm not gonna lie.
Gonna be for real, I'm not moved by it either.
I'm like, okay, so now you regret... Okay, so he regrets it now or whatever. He feels bad now. But, like, at the end of the day, you still actually participated in her death. So that is on you.
Yeah. I feel the same.
So, like, okay.
I 100% feel the
same. Sorry you're sad now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be sad. You should be sad forever. It should haunt you forever.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I also feel like both Louie and Lestat's dialogue here is way too on the nose. It is way too... like, we're just gonna say the thing instead, like, plainly, instead of, like, finding a more artful way to say it. Like, comparing the language at the beginning of the episode to the language here, it's such a drop in elevation. Because, like, comparing, like, take the line, like, the line I love of, like, does anyone ever ask Lazarus if he wanted to be woken, with this, it's such a drop in
there's just, like,
artfulness.
In general, like, there's a tonal shift after basically I would say it starts after Louis starts, fucking the coven, but then really once he gets into New Orleans and sees that, it really
the minute he gets in the car,
tonal shift, and it just, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not to me so much like the tone has shifted, but it's that the quality of the dialogue.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
There to me was so much lower than it usually is, because like this show has been funny, and this show has been like campy, but the level of dialogue is still up, and it felt like here that they were saying like this is what needs to be expressed in this scene. And instead of finding another way to actually express it, they just wrote that. Mm-hmm. Like, Louis has to express, like, the fact that he's thinking about that he saved her from a fire only for her to burn half a century later. And Lestat has to express that he's dealing with the fact that he never felt like he was Claudia's father. But when it came time when she was dying, she looked to him for help, like a child looking to their father, and he realized all in that moment how much he had wronged her, and that's what haunts him. He wasn't Uncle Les. That's her dad there, and he watched her burn to death, and he didn't do anything about it other than look horrified. That's what needs to be expressed, but they just sort of said it straight up, and I wish they had found a more sophisticated way to say it, because it's still, I don't know, you know what I mean?
I just feel kind of underwhelmed.
I felt very underwhelmed by that scene. I jokingly, I always refer to this one tweet that it's like too many TV shows nowadays feel like the characters have been to therapy. It's like, the reason I acted this way is because I never got over my father dying. This is dialogue that to me feels like that. Like, the reason why I'm upset is because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, don't tell me it straight up. Express it to me in a different way. And all the language before this point, I think, has done that. But in this scene, it felt so weak to me. And that's why, like, everyone's like, I'm crying. And I'm like, I'm not. Because I didn't buy it. I don't buy this. Like, I get what's happening, but I feel like the execution did not make me feel emotional about it. this is like to me the ball was dropped in this moment.
Yeah.
So.
Shall we continue?
Yeah. I just really want to. I once said that I'm very picky and I'm very mean, and I love this show.
I'm not nearly as picky, I don't think, but I still, it's not.
Because the tone could have shifted, and I wouldn't have minded, but it's the tone shifting with the language they're using that I didn't care for. I also don't like the music here. I think the music here is trying to convince me of something that wasn't earned, in my opinion. Or it should have been different music. I think it should have been much quieter music. A different score. I get that you want to call back to the In Throes of Increasing Wonder, but this is not that. Now to talk about my least favorite transition in the entire episode. Hate this so much. I hate this so much. I hate this so much.
That a lot of the Daniel enjoyers are eating this up. But as a former Daniel enjoyer, this is not good for me. He looks so cringe. Y'all... Sorry, Eric. Sorry. Not you. But... This is... Like, why are you wearing that? You couldn't continue wearing your modest grandpa clothes.
Yeah.
He gets turned to a vampire, and now he's like, I'm the cool guy. I'm like, no, you're fucking not.
Actually...
You look cringe.
He gets turned into a vampire, and he becomes this sleazy...
He looks...
self-important, like, jerk. And I think...
He looks like... He was giving Bruce to me, his look. And I'm like, why are you dressed like this?
He's giving...
You're
I
giving
keep saying
something.
it, but he's giving Tony Stark.
Okay, Tony Stark is better. But that's just like...
He's giving, like... Because that's who he's trying
to
to be, right? Like the, I'm so smart. I'm smarter than all of you.
I don't
but I
like
don't
it.
care. Here's my AC/DC
Which is
shirt.
painful to me, because as soon as I heard... the bit what Jacob said about the Dan Lewism, I was like, yeah, but then I remember that Daniel is acting like this, and I'm like, actually, I can't. Because I cannot have Louie interacting with him acting like this. I'm gonna need him to tone it down. Go back to your old self, and then we can maybe talk. Even then, you're not the nice Daniel, because... I'm about to start going into a whole different conversation, because actually I'm just gonna say it because what time is that's our time.
So we have time.
Because I don't know. I obviously because we didn't. I don't know. We still are trying to get episode 5 posted, but I really enjoyed Daniel and Louie in that, and
me too.
And I'm
a Daniel hater. I liked it,
and I really enjoyed their like relationship there, and like I was a big like Daniel and Louie person before everyone else, by the way. But I think that because of that, people are forgetting everything that Daniel has done, and he's not immediately like. He's not a saint all of a sudden. He still had a lot of racist comments. He still talked very badly in regards to Claudia, dismissing her trauma. So, like, he's not all of a sudden, like, good. He's not all of a sudden top tier just because how he's acted hasn't been as bad as what Louis has experienced from... Lestat and Armand doesn't mean
he's still a bad husband and a terrible father.
Yeah, he's so I just want people to keep it in check though. Like, enjoy Dan Lewism, but let's not put him on a pedestal either, because he doesn't need to be on a pedestal at all.
I do not like Daniel very much. I understand his role in this narrative, and I don't think it's bad. I just don't like that type of person, so I don't care for him. And I think when he became a vampire, he's showing his true colors, baby.
Why is he acting like this?
Because this is who he always was. This is him unburdened from the consequences of normal society. This is what he wants to do. The problem that I have is I don't think Daniel should be promoting this book on TV. I think that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why he's on TV, a whole vampire, and why he's fighting so hard to be like, actually, it's real. Because, like, it isn't...
Also,
why are you doing that?
Now that he's a vampire and he's promoting this book, shouldn't the vampires also be coming after him?
They don't know he's a vampire.
They don't know?
He's wearing, like, weird... His eyes change color after this.
They can't hear him or anything like that? I don't know how it works. I don't know
I
how
don't
the
know.
details work. And I'm also just thinking, like, shouldn't the vampires be, like, coming after him, too? Since he, like, is a vampire now? I don't know how that works. I don't know if they can hear him and realize he's a vampire. I know
We're
that
on the same server.
I know that the people will not know, but, like, I feel like, I don't know how it works. I don't know what the lore is. I've only read a couple books, so yeah, I don't know.
You can close yourself off from other vampires.
Him?
One can.
At his level? You think
Well,
he's
he's
enough
starting
to do
at
that?
Armand level, no fledgling. No, like, he's starting off really high.
That's true.
Because Armand hasn't made any other fledglings. Armand is the, I almost said son, is the fledgling of Marius. And he already had a lot of power to begin with, plus he's 500, plus this is his first fledgling. He can shut off his brain. He can shut off his, telepathy.
Okay.
If Claudia could do it.
But Claudia had like, time to, like...
Louie can do it, so he also could have told Daniel how to do it.
Don't tell him shit, Louie. Don't help him. I'm just saying, I don't know.
I think he could shut himself off. I think that's not a thing. That's not the issue. The issue I have is, why are you on live TV?
I just think he's acting really cringe. I just can't.
It is very cringe.
I just can't get over it. Like I need him to go back to his old ways. But actually, it makes sense what you said, that this is him now being able to just do whatever he wants, live his true self.
This is him unfettered. So when you want to ship him with Louie, know that this is what you're shipping with Louie.
He's cringe right now. Please.
He was always cringe.
Check out the book fair this weekend.
It's gonna be quite something.
Viewers, what the book is about.
Like, what are you wearing? I swear. This is killing me so bad.
To go viral with your dinky little provincial news desk. Yeah, I did.
I know Erica's having a good time though.
Oh yeah,
He's living it up. This is
beloved
his dream.
character actor Eric Bogosian was having a great time doing this bit.
They hate a bad bitch. He's like Megan the Stallion of the vampires. Look at him. He's so pretty. They hate a baddie.
Forwarding address. Why not send them to your editors at the Talamasco? The shit they made me take out. No editor's next book, I promise.
Love that Anne Rice job.
Wait.
Want the 10 million back?
No editor's next book.
Send me an address. You know where I live? I really wouldn't be staying put if I were you. I'm guessing you haven't heard from my maker.
What?
Season 3 is going to have to do a lot to get me to not hate that. Like, genuinely. Because they made the whole big thing of Armand being like, I've never made a fledgling. The idea repulses me. And then he just willy-nilly turns Daniel. And
And I haven't read it, but I do like when you told me a little bit about when he finally did turn Daniel and how it was a whole thing, and it, like, I don't know, it
ruined their relationship.
Yeah, and
like,
I thought that was really interesting, and I feel like, so they're gonna have to, like, I don't know.
They're gonna have to do something with it. Do something interesting with it, because right now I hate it, but they could make me like it if they make it interesting. But, like, I'm not a huge Devil's Minion person in that I do not believe in the enduring nature of their relationship, because it isn't enduring. It lasts for a chapter and then it's over. They don't really talk after Queen of the Damned, and Daniel comes back up in blood and gold. Like, he's not relevant to Armand's life, really. But, what I do think is interesting is the subversion, where their relationship starts with Armand turning Daniel and then running away, which is a complete inversion of the Devil's Minion relationship, which is he follows Daniel around, he will not turn him, and then the relationship starts to fizzle out after Armand reluctantly turns him because Daniel is dying. And then Daniel begins to resent Armand for turning him, and Armand resents Daniel for resenting him for turning him, and also resents Daniel making him turn him. So it's just like this bed of resentment that just, like, peters out anything that they had, which was... It also takes away what Armand wanted from Daniel, which is he wanted to find a anchor, or like a way into humanity, and now Daniel's a vampire and now is very not connected to humanity. And he also Armand does not like, people may fight me on this, but Armand does not like maker-fledgling relationships. He thinks that is a way to constantly be misunderstood, because you don't have the benefit of knowing what the other is thinking. And he has the line, I think it's in the show, where he's like, those that we make will always grow to resent us for it. And he says the same thing. He says something to Lestat when Lestat's like, I'm gonna go out to Europe and find, with Gabrielle. And Armand's like, she's gonna grow to hate you, because that's what happens. And you're gonna constantly, then you're gonna try and make another one, and that one's gonna fail, and make another one, that one's gonna fail. Or he's gonna grow to hate you, because that's the nature of trying to do what you're doing. Trying to find love and, like, make them your, fledgling and your companion. They're always gonna hate you. And you're always gonna have this distance because you cannot understand each other. So, I don't know. They will have to do something to make me like this choice, but my knee-jerk reaction was, I said absolutely not. And my knee-jerk reaction still, when he's like, have you heard from my maker, is still... I don't know how I feel about it, but I also don't want to immediately be like, and I think it's bad, because I do want to see what they do. This is purposefully set up to be talked about later. So I will wait till the later to determine how I feel about this. Because I might love it. They might be able to do something really interesting, but as of right now, I do not like this.
I'm sorry you were burdened out of spite. I shouldn't have left you alone with him.
However, I did see an interesting thing of someone talking about it, where they were like, they could see the burdened out of spite thing of Louie said not to harm him. And also in episode 5, Louie said to let him live as a testament to their companionship. Yes, Armand being like, okay, and making Daniel immortal so that if he never dies...
We're together forever, bitch. No.
There is always this testament to their companionship that is now immortal. There is that symbol will always live on. And it is, I think, in a way, Armand not letting go of Louie.
I do like that.
I can see that, and I can see him doing it out of this intense moment of like, I've lost everything and you made me lose everything, and I'm gonna punish both of you in this moment. It's also a fun way to play around with, oh, how does Armand define harm? It's like, don't harm him. It's like, I just bit him.
Just gave him a little bite.
I just technically killed him, but then made him live forever.
Make it up to me. We'll do a follow-up book. What do you want?
I also think Daniel's acting like this because he had a degenerative illness, and now he's gonna live forever. So he's got a lease on life.
They're really fucking pissed off about our book.
You want to write another with me?
Sequels, audiobooks, sex toys.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Why is he always trying to hit?
I love all the yellow. I love that the introduction of color back into his life is yellow.
Yes, and he looks so cute in this sweater. Oh, he looks so beautiful.
I will say, it's a good thing they're showing the sweater, because once you see his pants, hideous outfit.
Wait, I didn't even notice his pants.
Look at his
I was
pants.
actually looking at the sweater.
Look at his, when he sits down. Like track pants.
Why is he wearing that with that sweater?
Because they're doing one of my favorite canon Louis things, which is in modern day, he does not dress well. He wears what's comfy.
He do not be dressing. Oh,
No, Dusty Louis.
I know of that.
Sweet Dusty Louis. Armand calls him.
Well, I really was so distracted by that sweater. I did not notice the pants the first time at all.
I noticed the pants immediately, and I was like, what?
I was like, that cute little sweater. He's so cute. He's still cute.
He is still cute, but
Also, the painting of Paul and Claudia's dress.
like museum pieces.
Like, they want me to die.
Windows to my balcony, which were designed with a protective film coating for those sun challenged.
He looks so pretty.
He's like, don't be a coward. Say all this to my face.
Yeah.
Talking about taking a run at me.
He said, try some.
This now. And hear it plain.
I don't like this part. I like everything up to right this. This is also kind of cringe. I own the night. You're not Batman, baby girl.
He's already said he is.
I know. He thinks he's not Batman. I own the night.
Yeah.
Oh, lordy.
So, I just stopped the screen record. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So yeah, I love where it ended for Louis. I think in terms of it being, this is wrapping up the Louis-centric portion.
Mm-hmm.
I like where Louis ends, and that's honestly the most important part,
Yeah,
in
I
my
feel
opinion.
like his arc, his development, that felt good. Minus the I own the night. I really enjoyed the start of this episode a lot. A few things that I don't know about yet. I think that I will have to see what happens in the next season to really finalize how I feel about it. So I guess I'm just gonna have to hold on to these feelings until then. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was really confused by what happened on my first watch through, and then my second and third just now. I'm fine. I'm
I
more
feel
fine
like at
with
the
it.
very least, I understand what they were trying to do at the very least.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel even whether or not I agree with everything, it's up in the air. But I think I get what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And
I
like I said, I felt like the beginning was really great for me. Louis' arc itself is really good for me. And there's just some things in the middle that I don't know about, but yeah.
I think I had seen a thing that was like I was 90% on the writing and 70% on the execution, and I think that's where I've kind of landed for me. And like
That
for the
feels
most
good.
part, what they are doing, I get. The execution on what they were doing, it was more successful than unsuccessful, but when it was unsuccessful, I really noticed.
Yeah, I think that feels good.
I just feel like one of the things they needed to do was slow down.
The pacing was a little weird after the...
I even think in the beginning, well, once we get into, like, the Louie's like, now I'm doing the plan. From Louie, like, being like, and action. Like, I was like, why are we running? Why are we sprinting? I kind of wish
it had been drawn out a little bit, too. I wanted to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they could have made, like, if they had made this, like, 2 episodes, maybe.
I've seen that. I've also seen... even like
I also
an extra 30 minutes.
I would have liked to have even seen more of like the Louis divorce, more of that, because that also was so fast for me.
I would have liked to have heard more of that dialogue.
There's a lot of Louis and Armand dialogue from the book that I really like, that I wish, in general, not just in this part, but throughout I feel kind of cheated with that. It's fine. It's fine, I guess. There's still time for it, maybe. Because, they always,
they stay in each other's lives.
They never truly, completely, they always stay.
Yeah.
It's this circle with the 3 of those men, so.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel that... I really wish that here's the thing. I made this joke to you the first time I watched it, which was they looked at the calendar and were like, the episode's due tomorrow. But I do feel like maybe it was we have to put this in the can because the writer's strike is tomorrow, or it's coming up, it's imminent. We do not have time for edits. Because the bones here, someone mentioned it felt kind of like the pilot script, like that initial pilot script, and I do agree that there's things in that initial pilot script that do not work, and that they were able to cut out because they were able to revisit it because they had more time in that pre and even early production, but they didn't have that time because the writer's strike started very soon after filming. So they just had to put what they had in. Yeah, I'm just... This to me... I had said episode 3 kind of felt like a casualty of the writer's strike, but I think this one to me was the most obvious. I think overall, yeah, the bones are... It's good bones. Like, you go up to a house, and you're like, there's good bones. You just gotta do some renovation. I'm like, I feel like they made choices here that because they're not going to be, unfortunately, fighting, they're not having to be dealing with all of these external limits, other than, I guess, money, on the production. I have hopes that they'll be able to be like, we had this, and let's actually be able to flesh this out more, because there were 2 strikes happening during the filming of this season.
Yeah.
I know they had to stop filming in episode 7, and then they came back 3 months later to finish filming episode 7. Which, that's a crazy episode to have to stop in the middle of.
I know.
To, everyone get back in it.
A very heavy episode to... Yeah.
Especially because I was watching that one Sam interview where he was saying that Emma Freeman, the director, she likes to just let takes go. So he was like, on the newsreader they would have 5-minute takes where they would just do the whole scenes, and he was like, when she was on this show, the trial scenes were 15 to 20 minute takes.
That's wild.
Where she would just be like rolling and they would just have to go and just keep going. And so
Jesus.
It took them 3 weeks to film that trial scene, and then they had to stop and then come back 3 months later to finish it. And I'm like, you must have been exhausted. But yeah, all that to say, I have more grace for this episode than I would otherwise, because I I had been thinking when the strikes happened that I'm like, I wonder how this is going to affect the show, but I was obviously thinking about that while it was going on, that I'm like, how does this affect, because actors can't change lines in accordance with that strike, so what was written you have to film. And I'm not saying that the actors on this show change lines very often, and Sam or Jacob had said that they don't really do that, but Roland would often run in and be like, you should add this line here, or like, let's try doing this way, or let's try saying this, take out this and do this out, but you can't do that during the writer's strike, because that's considered writing, and that's against the strike. So at this point I get it, and by this point I get it, and I
like your earrings.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
The sword. The little moon on top. I think it's a moon. Anyway.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I see what they were doing. I am willing to believe, I'll say, 90% of it. And they'll have to convince me to believe the other 10%, as of right now.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I already said how I feel. Like, a lot of it I liked, and there's bits that I'm not sure about, and we'll just have to see how they work it in this next season. To be honest, with my first watch, I just felt kind of underwhelmed afterwards.
I did too.
I was like,
I think the thing going against this episode, in addition to everything else I said, is that it followed 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
3 certified banger some of the 3 best episodes of television I've ever seen in my life.
Episode 5 was too good.
Oof. That's why I wanted more of the more dialogue in general between Louie and Armand in their breakup, because they're so good at having like Jacob and Assad are so good at playing off of each other.
So good, and I really wanted to see more of that in their little divorce scene. But yeah, they could have given me more of that, and I would have been a lot happier. Because I mean, we had all this lead up. And the big tragedy of it all encompasses like 5 minutes. Like, not even, I don't know, like 10 minutes. I don't know. It's like not a lot of time, and I wanted to see more of it. Like, but
I'm gonna do a whole season rewatch and see how I feel about it in, like, having watched everything immediately before it. I'm also gonna do that.
Maybe we'll come back on and give our final thoughts.
Yeah, like a whole season
for the full
review.
Season afterwards. But yeah. But with that, since Interview with the Vampire is over, can you all believe that it's over? Do you know how long I've been waiting for this season, and now it's just over?
Well, they're starting filming for season 3.
But I've been waiting for season 2.
Same.
You understand, okay? Because I've been waiting. I loved Louie and Armand's relationship in Interview with the Vampire. It was so interesting to me, and this is what I've really been waiting for. As soon as it was confirmed that Assad was Armand, I was like, all right, let's go. And now it's happened. Now it's over already. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's so weird.
I've
been
love
counting
this
down.
relationship so much. Maybe, like, I don't know how controversial an opinion this is, but, like, I definitely find the Louie and Armand relationship more interesting than the Louie and Lestat relationship.
I mean, I obviously think that too, but it's fine if... Okay.
I'm not, like, I get the appeal of Louie and Lestat. It's just, like, the problem is I love Armand so much, and I love the way he approaches the relationship with Louie, and I love how that dynamic is. I love
I
love those types of relationships where like someone almost has to subsume the other one in order to be able to.
And I also just think, I don't know, their relationship is a lot more layered. I feel like Louis and Lestat, it's like very like, it's not simple, but like it's very clear like kind of what's going on between them. And so
you get it once the minute you see it, you understand.
Yeah, you're like, okay, yeah. And
the Louis and Armand
is like so layered, and there's layers and layers, and I just love that. That's really interesting to me. So that's why I don't know.
I think what I like about the Louis and Armand relationship, I keep smacking this microphone, I'm so sorry. But the thing that I love about the Louis and Armand relationship is the levels of, like...
They're both coming in, I don't know for me, I don't know what you're about to say, but they're both coming in with their, like, traumas and, with their own, like, baggage that they're carrying.
Well, I would argue that so are Louis and
they
Lestat.
too, but, like, it's so the way that I feel like you understand what I'm trying to say, but like, because I'm not taking away from.
No, but I'm saying like, I think
because part of Louis' trauma comes from Lestat. That's not already there. With Louis.
He has different.
He has different stuff going on when he gets into it with Lestat. It's the extra layer of like his relationship with Lestat also that he's coming in with that makes their, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think to me what's fun about the Louis and Armand relationship is that level of role play, because I think it's insane that the only way that it works is if they've convinced themselves that it's true. Otherwise, it doesn't offer either the security that they want it to give, and the major factor is that the relationship starts with them knowing that it is not true. So they just have to pretend like it's real in order for it to work, and then at a certain point they have deluded themselves into thinking it is real until the point when it becomes very apparent that it is not real. And then they have to... The only way that they can go back to the way it had been structured so it could function is if they just forget that ever happened. You know what I mean?
What's not real?
The Louis having control.
Oh, yeah.
And Armand being submissive to him.
Okay, yeah.
That is...
Sorry, I got lost for a second.
Oh, sorry.
I was
talking very vaguely.
What's real?
Yeah, like that Louis is Metra. The Metra Arun.
Okay, yeah.
Like, relation, like, role play and titles is only works because they've agreed it works.
Yeah.
And that is such a bonkers way to approach... I've never seen a BSM relationship portrayed in media like that. It's usually like the dom does have structural power over their submissive, but in this one the submissive really wants to believe he doesn't have power, but he is the most overpowered in that relationship, and the person who has been put in the dominant role is only dominant because they've agreed he is. Mm-hmm. Like, otherwise he doesn't have any sway over his submissive. His submissive only submits because he wants to, or he's chosen to. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing, if he chooses not to, he could blow everything. He literally just blow it all to bits and walk away. And I think part of the dissatisfaction for Armand is that it's not true submission. I think he would like for it to be real, but also he doesn't want it to be real because he wants to have control.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like, well, also he doesn't also... It's very complicated, which also I find interesting, because that he wants to...
And I think Louis doesn't particularly relish being dominant, but he likes being in a relationship where he feels like he can say something and it will be heated.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
Like, he's like, well, if this is what I have to do in order for that to happen, then I'm fine. But then I'll get over, like, it'll be fine, whatever. And I think Armand is wanting...
I don't even think that's, like, I don't think you meant to say, like, but, like...
Oh, sorry.
I don't even think it's, like, final, get over it type of thing. I think it's just,
He's like, I can live with it. It's not, like, a deal breaker. It's just,
Even that, like, it's the sense of security, even though it's not real security. So I think he's actually, like, okay with it. I think he is okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's just, like, with him, you can feel how much of a performance it is. Like, he's not, like, it doesn't feel natural when he's doing it. Like, it feels like an affectation.
I was laughing because episode 6, I was so shocked.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
I mean, I don't know. He was having a good time.
Well, yeah, they were both having a good time.
But I was just like,
there's also
it was such a contrast to what I'm used to hearing from him. And I was like, oh.
It's also like that moment is very performative because he's doing it in a glass room.
Yeah.
It's about being seen doing this. And you can hear them in the room below, and it's about being like, it's about the exhibition of this power.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me that makes it more a performance. But yeah. Anyway, I love the layers to it, and so, like, I am mourning it a little bit, because I do like it a lot. They're crazy in a way that I like to dig into. I come from Hannibal, so I love a meaty relationship like that, so,
yeah.
I love where one half is, gaslight gatekeep girl bossing the other.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I love them so much, and I am, looking forward to them still being in each other's lives, because they will continue to be in each other's lives.
They do, that's canon.
And, yeah, so, it's not actually over, which I hope is the real reason why he bit Daniel, but,
I do like that in this version of Devil's Minion, they are together because of Louie. They and all of it comes back to Louie.
Louie is at the center of everything.
Louie is.
He's
at the
that
center.
girl.
Yes.
Write it down. If you take anything from this, actually that's not the most important thing, but also he is that girl.
Yeah, and nothing about this episode made me like them less. I had seen some people say that they felt that the revelation in this episode ruined the relationship for them. It didn't ruin it for me. It would take a lot, TBH, for it to actually be ruined for me.
Again, do I feel everything that happened, that transpired? I don't know. I still don't know yet. The verdict's still out there. You don't know yet. But, alright, that's the right way to say it?
Well,
no.
The verdict is still out? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because once you know the verdict is in.
Okay. Sorry. We'll see. But it did not, like, kill my enthusiasm for Louie and Armand. That's for sure. I still quite love them. But yeah, I'm all gonna continue to love them. I love both of those characters very much. Very, very much.
Sorry, if you can see the mic, it's because I'm looking at your waveform and it's so small.
Oh, sorry. Hi, y'all. I hope you've been able to hear me. I used to work at a library, and I have a quiet voice in general. So, yeah.
I was just like, scoots it closer. Yeah. So, all that to say, I think the stuff that worked for me did, the stuff that didn't, but I'm also not too hung up about it. I've seen some truly awful season finales, and this to me was not an awful season finale.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to see what happens next. I'm invested in this story and all the little characters in it, and I want to see more. So
that's that. Can you believe it? Yeah, so we'll probably do like a last like season wrap up just to talk about everything once we watched all of the episodes together. And then from there, we'll continue on. Again, if you have anything specifically you'd like to see us do or like to see us talk about, anything you specifically want us to watch and talk about, let us know. Because this has been fun. And I'd like to talk to y'all and talk to each other. Kinda. No, I'm kidding.
God.
I'm just kidding. I like to be annoying as well.
Yeah, so that's been God, I'm gonna end it. This has been our little season finale discussion and kind of reaction. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, it's discussion video. And that's...
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Stay tuned for whatever we have next.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.